can't be sure what lurks out there in the darkness of night.
We're the Darkstalkers!
Welcome to VidAMs. For last week's Twitter poll, I went for a fighting game theme. I really thought Double Dragon was gonna win it, which absolutely did not bloody happen. So here we are with Darkstalkers. Some of you are probably wondering, what the hell is a Darkstalker? And that confusion is entirely justified. Capcom doesn't give much love to this trilogy. Sorry, Darkstalker fans. Imagine a standard 90s Capcom arcade fighter, like Street Fighter, for example. Now add a gothic horror slant, where instead of playing as racial stereotypes, you play as ghoulish monsters, terrifying beasts, and a cat girl. That's Darkstalkers. A basic concept, but very well done. Games like this aren't known for being story-heavy. They can't afford to be, because they're designed to beat you up and steal your money. So when Graz Entertainment was tasked with adapting Darkstalkers 1 and 2 into a TV show, all they really had to stick to were the character bios from the instruction booklets, the brief snippets of characterization established by their limited dialogue, and whatever mandates Capcom left them with. Those mandates probably being to tone down the violence and sexuality to make the show suitable for younger viewers. But otherwise, they had carte blanche to tell whatever story they wanted. And when it was all said and done, it turned out to be a very critically panned story that only lasted for 13 episodes. Let's find out why. By the by, this is one of those shows that has a synopsis as a theme song, so I can go boil a cup of tea while the narrator does my job for me.
Supernatural things, magic and sorcery, they're back. From out of the gloom stalk your worst nightmares. Ghouls, zombies, werewolves, vampires. You can't be sure what lurks out there in the darkness of night.
We're the Darkstalkers!
Chiron, intergalactic collector of planets, wants the Earth, and he's going to get it even if he has to wake the undead. He summons Dimitri, Lord of the Vampires, to launch a reign of terror, to release a plague of monsters and bring humans to their knees. But other night warriors are on the prowl. Monstrous, awesome contenders with bizarre fighting powers. Immortal creatures locked in battle to decide the fate of the world. It's enough to make your blood run cold.
Alrighty, caught up to speed now. Two things though. First thing, why did you end the opening so abruptly and awkwardly? You have Darkstalkers right there. In fact, let me fix that for you.
It's enough to make your blood run cold.
We're the Darkstalkers!
Second thing, I can already see where this show deviates from the source material. In this adaptation, the Darkstalkers seem to have split into a good and evil faction, which already takes away some of the series' appeal. From what I've gathered, the games had Dimitri bring the Darkstalkers together upon Pyron's arrival, with the infighting between them being to decide who was tough enough to take him on. They're a bunch of self-interested monsters with wildly varying motivations and goals. And this format kinda loses that. Let's start with episode 1, Out of the Dark. Pyron wants world domination, abducts Dimitri, abducts a ridiculously Irish Morrigan, establishes a pecking order.
Morrigan, he is your general.
Never!
And you, Dimitri, Morrigan is your second in command.
They try and fail to abduct Talbane, who is apparently part pug in this show, and they abduct Anacaris, who...
The Supreme Pharaoh has awakened! All hail the Imperial pudding! There are lizards in my pants!
Okay, all the dialogue up to this point has been kinda cheesy, but this is just embarrassing. Anakaris is coming at us like a preteen deviant artist circa 2007. So, who's next to join Team Pyron?
It is no good. After all this time, the curse still lives.
Oh boy. I didn't even need to go to IMDb to confirm that Bishamon isn't voiced by an Asian actor, but I did anyway, and he isn't. Yikes.
Thank you, Australia!
Huh? Oh, great. Great. 30 years late for Woodstock.
Okay, the last two characters were overly wacky and racially insensitive respectively, so Lord Raptor here is honestly a breath of fresh air. Also my main, because look at him. As you've gathered by this point, this is just a roll call of the main characters, and everyone from this point on joins the hero side. Victor, voiced here by Schwarnold Ortzenegger, flails away from the tractor beam.
I don't want the world. I just want to be left alone.
Riku swims away from it, because he hates Dimitri. And Sasquatch, here named Bigfoot, wow, getting real Return of the Jedi vibes from this. Nothing topples hyper-advanced alien tech like a bunch of forest-dwelling fuzz monsters.
If they bother you that much, destroy them. You have the power. Or so you say.
Yes, yes, I will. No, you won't.
They're adorable and I want to keep them as pets.
My costume is out of date? Out of date? How dare they? It's a tour of cats, not My Fair Lady.
This is a bloody stupid joke. But real talk, if any VFX artists out there want to recreate Felicia in the style of Tom Hooper's cats, please hit me up. I will make it worth your while. Based on the time code, it looks like Felicia's gonna be our main character for this series, which is fine, I suppose. Personally, I'd have made the show about Donovan Bane, a Darkstalker hunting Dhampir who becomes a Tibetan monk to reject his monstrosity. Like Straightso, but in reverse. Everything I've seen about the guy looks rad, and having him stand against the vampire-led faction would have been perfect. The only stumbling block there would be Anita, the little girl who he protects. Nothing against her. I just feel like this show would have turned her into a bland human sidekick. Ooh, better praise the sun! And now it's time to go.
The sorcerer! In trouble! Let's reach the sorcerer!
A sorcerer? I'm no Darkstalkers expert, but I don't remember a sorcerer in the cast.
It is Elijah Grimoire that I seek. He is a friend of my kind. Wait a minute. He was my great-great-great-grandfather.
Oh no! You've invented a bland human character to drag this series down. This was one of the worst trends when it came to Saturday morning cartoons. The creation of bland, nothing human characters for the kids watching to project themselves onto. Because God knows, the target demographic that struggle most with imagination and empathy are children.
Who are you? And what are you doing in my room? I have no choice. I have to trust you. Look, Harry.
Wait, a bespectacled kid named Harry who spends his childhood oblivious to his magical aptitudes? Never heard that one before. Wait, when did this series come out? 95? Wow, Rowling! I knew you were a repulsive turf, but plagiarism? From this rubbish? For shame!
I'm sorry you think you turn into a cat, but there are no such things as vampires. That's movie stuff.
Ugh, Harry fucking sucks. A naked cat girl comes asking for his help, and his first response is, actually, monsters aren't real. You just squandered the illicit fantasies of many a wiki writer, Harry. By the way, did you know that Felicia is the first barefoot female fighter in a fighting game? Thank you for the trivia, Darkstalkers Wiki.
Harry, run! Hey, help!
Mwahaha! Prepare to meet your bedroom ceiling.
Okay, well, being defenestrated was probably a worse outcome.
I am sorry that I involved your people in this.
Dimitri and his evil master started this, not you. We are all involved. Good luck, my friend. We shall meet again soon.
This is not scripted. I don't know why that scene is so fucking funny to me. It just is. I don't know why, but I'm imagining this scene, but like, directed by Zack Snyder. Like, just all dark and grim and taking itself seriously. Release the fucking Snyder cut of Darkstalkers. Fuck.
You should go home. No way! Suppose that Dimitri guy comes back. Besides, I can be a big help to you. You know, fighting evil and stuff.
Hey, Felicia, this is the part where you shut the kid down and take your rightful place as main character. I don't care if he can levitate and pull a creepy face. Nobody likes Harry. Oh, cool. The ending theme is the opening music from the PlayStation 1 ports. That is sadly the highlight of this episode. So yeah, this show is kind of a mess, with the animation and the writing being particularly rough. Let's jump forwards. Episode 4, The Game.
10 pounds kelp concentrate. Klaus, did you get the catnip tea?
Your master. 10 years of business college for this. Why couldn't great-great-grandpapa Igor have been a peasant like everyone else?
And you all thought Pac-Man was the cheesiest family sitcom I'd be covering. All this scene needs to cherry the cake is an over-enthusiastic laugh track.
I think I understand, Klaus. You do help, and you're very important. I couldn't keep the castle clean without you.
So Victor gets attacked and captured by Morrigan and Dimitri, while trying to prepare a dinner party for the Darkstalkers on Team Harry. My thanks go to Team Pyron for remembering that this show is in fact based on a fighting game.
We must secure my prisoner before the others arrive.
What do you mean, your prisoner?
Pyron decides to have fun with this and pits both Dimitri and Morrigan against one another. Whoever captures the most party attendance is promoted to General. I thought Dimitri already was the General, but I guess a lot can happen in 2 episodes.
And who will judge this little contest? Why, Anacharis, of course.
I will pull the wings from the fly of the universe!
Either Pyron forgot that Anacharis is basically Homsar in this series, or he's just screwing with everyone because he's bored. I'm going to assume the latter.
My foot is...
Oh yes, just standing around waiting for the AI to kick in with the lads. Anthrocon 95 is going to be the best one yet.
I'm studying Fireball.
Fireballs? Ew, how crude and unpleasant, you nasty boy.
I'm sorry, Riku. Are you conflating fireballs with burning testicles? Is that the joke? Also, are you even one to judge? You don't even have genitals. After Morrigan summons a rainstorm, the gang break into the mansion.
We should look for Victor before we make ourselves at home.
Yeah, I'll take this one.
Harry and I will look upstairs. Bigfoot, you try that way. And someone should check the grounds.
Hold it, Fred. Don't you think we ought to stick together?
Yeah.
So with Riku and Tao Bane being caught within seconds, the score is now 2-1 to Dimitri. And to even the odds, Pyron allows Anakaris to join Morrigan's team.
For Morrigan!
Fucking no clips out of the room.
What happened? Welcome to your new home, pussycat. Oh, such language.
Surely she can just turn back into a cat and walk through those bars. Have you looked at them? They're fucking massive. Well, with Harry being the last hope for the team, I'm sure he'll prove himself to be a capable hero when push comes to oh, never mind.
Klaus! Klaus! Put the candle back! Put the candle back!
Lost!
Is everyone in this show drunk? What the fuck? Everyone in this show is a Bumblelord. The heroes, the villains. This feels more like Tori Bash than Darkstalkers. Felicia begins distracting Dimitri and Morrigan, while the incarcerated crew easily outsmart Anakaris and escape. Anakaris is reduced to a sarcophagus, while Dimitri and Morrigan are frozen solids. I'm not sure how this lends itself to an I'll get you next time, because for all intents and purposes, all three of them should be out of commission now. No joke, this moment had me scrutinizing over passenger laws in order to figure out what the seating arrangement in this taxi could possibly have been. In the end, I concluded that Harry, passing for a 12-year-old, called shotgun with Felicia in cat form held in his arms. Whatever the circumstances, the taxi driver is not being paid enough for this shit. Episode 7. Little Bigfoot's Last Stand.
Holy cow! A little Bigfoot! Hi!
Haha! I tricked you! I tricked all of you! VidAMs was an elaborate ploy to make you all watch To Catch a Yeti, the hit film starring Meatloaf.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see.
Hey!
You won't tell Uncle Bigfoot I'm here, will you, huh?
I've never had a show leave me so spatially confused before. What the fuck is the perspective in this scene? Why is everything fluctuating in size? What was the trajectory of that ball? Where the fuck did the clock disappear to? Why is Hairball the Yeti almost as tall as Harry now? And why does he look so different to how he did in the first episode? None of these questions are answered. So I'm going to continue peacefully watching now.
Boy, but you're not Felicia.
No, it isn't, but I can see how you mix them up. You know, how they both have white fur, and that's literally it.
Don't you think this is so cool, Harry? Have you ever been on a spaceship before? I haven't.
You be quiet, Hairball.
Every scene with Hairball is agonizing. Props on writing an annoyingly inquisitive child accurately. But the downside is that you now have an annoying character. Also, Dimitri's pupils are gone. I don't know why.
Make yourself comfortable, human. I have plans for you.
So have you all forgotten that Harry can teleport? Or is it Harry who's forgotten he can teleport? Who forgot that Harry can teleport? The hostage negotiations begin. Pyron demands Bigfoot hand himself in exchange for his nephew's release. Meanwhile, Morrigan releases Harry from his cell, mostly to spite Dimitri. And catching wind of this malarkey, Felicia attempts to get herself captured in order to stage a prison break.
What stinks worse in here? Your music or you?
Felicia, you're spoiling my gig.
Your gig was pre-spoiled. And I think you did that yourself, Raptor.
Look, Felicia, I'm just playing a local coffee shop during my downtime. Can't we keep our work and home lives separate? After an exasperated Raptor brings her in, Felicia immediately springs into action. Okay, earlier on I got wound up because she wouldn't use her talents to escape her cage. Well, now I've got the opposite problem. How did she get out of that cage with nothing but minor burns? How shitty are these space prisons? So the prison break is underway, and things begin going south for Team Pyron.
The human boy and the Catwoman have escaped. Morgan and Dimitri are reducing your collection room to dust.
No!
And we're dangerously low in altitude and could crash at any moment.
My collection! Those fools! Dimitri, answer me or I'll have your head!
So amidst all the chaos, Hairball was able to beam in the rest of his family. And with most of their other options cut off, Team Harry begin wrecking the ship. Because what better way to end the series than by having most of the cast go down in a flaming wreckage? Pyron's sassy computer recognizes how far the situation has escalated and zaps Team Harry away so it can begin fixing things.
I want you to put it all back together again, just the way it was.
Just the way it was?
Exactly the way it was. And believe me, I'll know. Now get to work!
You know, if you just mutinied, you'd actually be following the plot of the games. Episode 10 is Samurai's Honor. More Bishamon, I hope. Wait a second, this is just episode 1 again. Am I watching the right episode? Yeah, I am. The first 3 minutes of this episode are just the first 3 minutes of episode 1, reused without any changes. Hey Darkstalkers, are you starting to feel the, budget constraints, perhaps? When it finally does start branching out into new content, and I can't believe I'm saying this, it actually gets surprisingly good. No cheesy gags, less wonky animation, and a genuinely dark tone begin to slip into it, as Dimitri attacks and begins draining a human family. Not only that, but goddamn Donovan's here too! This is starting to feel like the Darkstalkers pilot I was wishing for in my head.
Ah, fast food. So tasty.
Ah, don't lose it. You're doing well. Okay, wow. Holy shit. I promise I didn't know Donovan could do that when I made a JoJo reference about him earlier. I'm beginning to like him even more now.
Hold your power, Donovan, or I will.
Bloody hell, Darkstalkers, have you been holding out on me? I want to know what happens next. I'm actually getting mad at how good this scene is compared to all the others so far.
Can you catch as well as you throw?
Yo! What the fuck, Darkstalkers? Where is this coming from?
Is this sword? The curse of Gilai.
Boy, that sure is an accent he's doing.
I will destroy you, Genai! I will...
Oh, it doesn't feel real.
The accursed sword!
Oh, it's such a product of its time.
Fisherman!
There it goes, there's the fucking quality. You had it, Darkstalkers, you fucking had it, it's gone now. It just spawns in. Dimitri has entered the lobby. Fucking hell! Whew, okay, so Dimitri and Bishamon are waiting for Donovan to turn up so that the latter can duel him.
I will not bring the dishonor of your violence here.
Okay, you have to be doing that on purpose. You sound like Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's. You have to be doing that on purpose.
I have come seeking help. Your help.
If he isn't trying to kill me, he wants my help. What a guy.
I rescued Amanda during a battle with Dimitri after he fed upon her parents. I think she is spell-shocked.
In retrospect, blasting her in the face with my magic sword was a bad idea.
Is Amanda your name, darling?
No, it's actually Anita, but I'm too spell-shocked to correct anyone.
Look, I don't have time to look after a girl. Well, now, if you two are finished reading fortune cookies, maybe we can get this show on the road. And where are you going, Mr. Hotshot Hero?
What crawled up Harry's ass and died? You're not even canon, motherfucker. Don't push your luck. So Felicia and a perpetually shitty Harry travel with Donovan in order to keep Amanda safe.
Tell me, Samurai, why must I destroy you?
Is it not enough that I serve Dimitri?
Not this time. Tell me.
Oh, shit, you're actually telling me. I didn't think you were actually going to... Oh, okay. Well, here we are. Let's do this, bits.
Yanobi, a treacherous man, was Shogun now. He made a deal with the Kami demons to make the evil sword I now carry. When I took them, I was locked into a great bell, never to see my beloved wife again.
So the two of them are locked into a sword fight, which seems fairly even until Donovan is dropped into a crevasse. Oh boy, that shot does not leave much to the imagination, does it? Donovan got that Ken doll action going on down there. Damn, Donovan, that's just bare ass. Who storyboarded this?
No! You shall not!
Okay, this has just become dumb anime bullshit, and I am all here for it. Oh, don't mind me, just summoning Shiva.
You know, if you just talked, this would be a lot easier. Felicia!
Well, that's what you get, you ableist prick. Dimitri takes Amanda hostage in order to disarm Donovan, which proves to be such an underhanded move that Bishamon denounces him and turns against Team Pyron. And with his cursed sword shattered, Bishamon is finally free, Dimitri fucks off, and Bishamon receives one last message from his beloved wife.
This gentle wizard lends me his body that I may speak to you. Though Ganai has been destroyed, you must now do battle on the side of good. One day for each day that you fought on the side of evil. Only then will you truly be free. And we will be reunited forever.
Well, at least Harry proved himself useful for something in this episode. One day of fighting for good for every day fighting for evil, though? I don't see the show lasting that long, Mrs. Bishamon. Especially considering that the next episode we're watching is the unofficial finale. Episode 13, Everyone's a Critic. Well, yeah, if they're watching this show, of course they bloody are. So this episode starts with... just listen.
And Rutabaga said... Hello, is this thing on? But seriously, folks, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. Or kebab, or maybe a nice couscous, or a nectarine. Such a fruit, half a peach, half a plum.
So the episodes I skipped over must have been of Team Pyron gradually dissipating, because it doesn't seem like any of its members are even left. Raptor is even more washed out than usual, and both Dimitri and Morrigan are on a talk show discussing the joys of being evil. Must be on the Fox network.
Greetings, little brother.
You! What are you doing here?
Why, to see how you're doing, little brother. To check on your progress, just like old times.
This is it! The show has gone full sitcom!
I've been very busy. What with having to repair the ship every time your little pals wreck it, I forgot to wind the clock. So sue me.
Oh my god, I can hear the Full House theme playing on loop in my head. Any semblance of gothic horror has been fully destroyed.
We have a crisis. My older brother will be here in a few hours to inspect this miserable planet. He's head of the family and feels that he needs to keep tabs on me. When he finds out how little I've accomplished, things are going to become very unpleasant for everyone.
What do you mean?
I will be sent home in disgrace, and you will be cleaning toilets for my brother.
Oh god, it's getting even cheesier! The overachieving older sibling is coming for dinner, and we've gotta get the band back together!
Don't try anything funny. We can still wreck your ship before you can trick us.
We could also wreck your shit, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, this is real. This is happening. This is the final episode of Darkstalkers.
You are curiously attractive for a fishman. So I've been told.
Wow. 1995. I'm not gonna make fun of that. So Terramon decides to make a meal out of Harry, which seems rude given that he's being served a perfectly good plate of brown slop. And in response to this overreach, Pyron and the Darkstalkers all stand up to him. They break out into a fight, and Terramon and his goons are kicked out. Unfitting as this may be, given the original work, I'm not going to pretend this isn't the cutest, most wholesome shit ever.
A noble gesture, your brilliance.
The now fully banded together Darkstalkers, plus Harry, have a full-on power of friendship moment, and they decide to take on the now hostile Terramon. Of course they take a few bumps and scrapes on the way there, but eventually the full Darkstalkers gang make their way to Terramon's control room, in the hope that Harry can sabotage it.
Pyron's behind this! This isn't funny, Pyron! Come out! Show yourself!
I'm no expert, but sending an all-powerful entity bent on world domination back in time seems like a very unwise decision.
You are a worthy adversary.
Then the war is over?
No, just a truce. Tomorrow, back to world conquest.
Well, I guess that truce turned into a treaty. Maybe even a long-running friendship, because the show was cancelled after this episode. What a fucking mess. If you wanted to make a cheesy sitcom about monsters, and God knows there's precedent for that, you could have just done it. You didn't have to bastardize an established IP. I'm not going to pretend this show didn't have the occasional solid zinger. It genuinely made me chuckle at a few points. But if I were a fan of the games, this would have hurt to watch. Now, this show is pretty universally hated and obviously didn't have any lasting impact at all. But there may be cause for me to revisit Darkstalkers in the future, albeit with the far more beloved Darkstalkers OVA. But it's going to be a while before I check that out. Next week, though, I want to take a break from animation and watch something in live action. The poll is on Twitter, so as per usual, go make your choice. Maybe something less bad this time. And before I disappear, I would like to thank Dan Brown, Pokepal, Quasistellar, Sheneldrak, Shameboy, and Thomas Walker for supporting this show. And once again, thank you to Ilwhip for the artwork. See you later, everyone!